Good morning, class. So today we're continuing our discussion of Chapter 3, which is the analysis of one quantitative variable. We're working in Section 3.2. Today we're looking at how SPSS creates a box plot. Last time we looked at Section 3.2 where we drew a box plot by hand. So SPSS creates what's called a modified box plot because it shows you where outliers are. So you can see from this graph that's created by SPSS, this vertical axis is going to give you the number of hours spent exercising. So on this horizontal axis, it's giving you what the variable is, and then the vertical is giving you the actual measurement. So as a reminder, when you look at a box plot, it's a graphical display of the 5-number summary. So here, when we are looking at this bottom line, this is going to be your minimum. So that bottom line is the minimum. And then remember that the start of the box is Q1. The line that dissects the box is the median. And then the top of the box is Q3. Now, last time when we looked at a box plot, the top line was going to be the maximum. But with the modified box plot, because it identifies outliers, your maximum is up here at that asterisk. So you can see that SPSS is identifying outliers. So these are going to be outliers. You can also see that there are two different identifications. So this asterisk is going to be what's referred to as a major outlier in SPSS. And then a circle is going to be described as a minor outlier. So SPSS is creating a modified box plot. Now, one thing that you need to realize is for different computing packages, there are different methods for deciding on what's an outlier and what is not. So I'm going to show you what SPSS does to create minor and major outlier identifications. But that doesn't mean it's universal. We're just looking at what the program SPSS uses to identify major and minor outliers. So at the top end of the data set, so we're going to look at what happens for this data. When you identify a major outlier, it takes the location of Q3 and it adds 3 times your IQR. So this, remember, the distance between Q1 and Q3 is what we identify as the interquartile range, or shortened to IQR. So identifying a major outlier at the top end of the data set takes the location Q3 and adds 3 times your IQR. A minor outlier then is going to take Q3, but it would add only 1.5 times your IQR. So what that means is it's going to take this location, and it's called a fence. So that is where a minor outlier would start. So it goes up to, but doesn't include, this Q3 plus 3 times IQR. So between Q3 plus 1.5 IQR, up to but not including this spot, would be identified as a minor or would get a circle. And then a major, this fence would start at Q3 plus 3 times the IQR. So any number in the data set that's at or above this would be a major outlier. Any number in the data set that's at or up to this but not including would be a minor outlier. So you would use a similar process for describing or finding a minor and major outlier for the bottom, except you would use Q1 and subtract either 1.5 IQR or subtract 3 IQR. So this is looking at how SPSS creates a modified box plot. One thing you should recognize is if there are no outliers, a modified box plot would look the same as a simple box plot, where a simple box plot doesn't identify outliers. So if there are no outliers, a modified box plot and a simple box plot would look the same.